for joining us. You're tuned in to Get It Right with Atarah Solutions. I am your host, Grace Nzula, HR consultant from Atarah Solutions. And of course, here with Richard, HR consultant and a public speaking facilitator and he also speaks to men. We have said we must put that across. And of course, tonight we want to discuss men, leadership, and influence. And with us is Stephen Mororo Mureithi, SMM. His leadership approach emphasizes servant leadership, promoting collaboration, innovation, and accountability. He has 15 years of experience as a civil engineer, and he identifies future challenges and trends to set clear goals and sustainable solutions. He says the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil for good men to do nothing. That is a quote by Edmund Burke. And he says human progress does not roll in the wheels of inevitability, but with the tireless efforts of men willing to be co-workers with God. And without hard work, time itself becomes an ally of forces of social stagnation. And that's a quote by Martin Luther King. And hey, my good friends, you are in very, 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 very good hands. And of course, we have our very own, let me call him that, because he's in people and culture. And this is when normally you want to hear. Yes, Nile Front Cottages. Thank you very much, Rebecca Kimau. It is Nile Front Cottages in Jinja, Uganda. Gosh, Nile Front Cottages, that partner of ours might have my head, but yeah. And I see Philemon from Eldoret. We are about to introduce our second speaker. And at this point in time, I would ask Mureithi to just say hello to us as we come in to introduce Mr. Mukunya. Mureithi?
Thank you very much, Grace. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good time that we are here, and it's my pleasure to be part of this today. And I know when it comes to life and men themselves, we are the carriers of basically life. We give guidance, God gave us a strength, and God gave us a vision. And it's my pleasure to discuss various issues concerning men. And it's good to be here.
It's good to have you, and we are looking forward to learning from you and also drinking from your cup. And of course, we have our very own. So we have Mr. Mukunya Mogo, who starts with us, a loving husband, father, and faith-driven individual whose life. So for those of you here who thought they have Angukiad, please note, I digress. He has anchored his life on love, family, and purpose. He has over 18 years of experience in HR and business leadership. He's a strategic thinker and transformation expert, known for driving people and culture initiatives that create a lasting impact. Throughout his career, he has championed causes across economic empowerment, education, health, and environmental stability. He is very passionate about Africa and believes in the power of people, the promise of good governance, and the necessity of ethical leadership that truly serves the citizenry. Mr. Mukunya.
Good morning, good evening, all of you. It's a pleasure to be on this call and happy to be here, especially as we get ready to celebrate men. Looking forward to an engaging conversation. For me, I believe in a learning process, so I'll also take some time to learn from the participants and also my colleagues on this call. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. So now, because we keep saying we are celebrating men, it's International Men's Day, which is very true. But I just want to hear, are you guys, because you are both men and even Richard is here as a man and I come from the other gender, I just want to hear, what are your thoughts about really this day? Before we can just go into a conversation, and maybe I can ask the audience, if you have a question, please put it on the Q&A and we shall come back to it. But at this point in time, just asking from our speakers, what is it, what does this day mean to you? Maybe we can start with you, Mr. Mureithi. I saw you looking away.
This is a very funny. Okay, I'll give an honest answer. Okay, first and foremost, let me just say I'm a Christian. I'm born again, and I'm a minister of the gospel. And I love the Bible so much. And one thing about me is, I just talk about me. You asked me how I view this thing. Every day I'm a man, and every day is a great day. As far as I'm concerned, there is no special day than any other day. So, because there's a great day to celebrate, like for example, today I've been out all day and doing my own things. So basically, I really didn't even cross my mind. But one policy I have is there's someone who said that take each day as if it is your last day, because someday it's going to be your last day. So as far as a man is concerned, I don't wait for a celebration or a day to celebrate. Okay, fine. If we are called to a celebration, that fine, you'll honor, like now we're having, or we are addressing something specific about men, that will be given the attention it requires. But as far as every day is concerned, one should carry themselves as a man and do what they have to do, when they have to do, or how they have to do it. And there's nothing special about a day, but what's special about is the person or the people as men that we be. Because today I cannot be nice because it's a man's day, but tomorrow I be nasty, or I don't take myself the way I'm supposed to take myself. Unless there's a milestone that we need to take on that particular day, maybe you're launching something, or there's something we're doing now that you can take it specially for you to be able to probably plan for the next year or something. But when it comes to a man, as I am, and many other men, we should be men every day and take our responsibilities seriously each and every day.
All right. Thank you. Mukunya, what are your thoughts?
I will avoid a philosophical outlook like Moridi. Mine is, I even had to Google when it is, just to be sure I didn't miss the date. So fortunately, Google told me it's tomorrow. Do I have plans? No, I don't have plans. Do we make noise about it? I don't think we make as much noise to celebrate men. So I think it's something that I'll need to make sure I make a lot of noise tomorrow, that tomorrow is International Men's Day. Thanks.
Yeah, and I think in all honesty, the world is not balanced if we are not taking cognizance of whether men or women. And I know for a very long time, in fact, somebody was asking me, Grace, Men's Day is on Wednesday. And you know, on Sunday, I just sent out Happy International Men's Day. And my defense was, when it's International Women's Day, we actually start from 1st of March and we finish on 5th of April. It literally goes the whole month. You know, we have conferences around women, we have all these things happening. And so it's, I think for me, it's also about time that we also started recognizing the role that men play in the society. And also just, it's an excuse to celebrate, which, I mean, why not? You know? So yes, you can pass the emojis, you can do the celebratory, you can do whatever on your screen. Let's get those emojis, the celebration, and let's celebrate the men on the call and the men who will listen to this recording later. And just the men in our society, because they do an important job. And for the men we are raising, may we do a better job than any other person ever did with us, you know? And so just looking at men and leadership, and looking at how the leadership space has been evolving. And we can say, when you talk about leadership, associating it with men, a lot of people look at it very differently. So as a man, what does authentic leadership mean to you? And how has your understanding evolved over a period of time? And maybe we can start with you, Mr. Mukunya, now that we have started with Moreidi too many times.
That's a very good question. I think for me, growing up, manhood is about the macho man. So if you grew up in my times, Bruce Willis, Die Hard, Clint Eastwood, you're that macho facing person who uh, was an excellent at one thing and everyone looked up to him. But over time, what I've come to realize, with time, manhood is also about being authentic, also being leaning into your failures, into your shortcomings, and allowing people to see who you are authentically, and also the challenges and issues you're facing. I grew up in a phase where we were told, Kangomu, stay strong, do not show emotion. But right now, it's okay to show emotion. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to say you're not okay. So for me, it's been an evolution, and with time, it's about leaning into the time and to who you are and being authentic in everything you do.
All right, Moreithi.
Yeah, well, as far as just like Mukunya said, men have really evolved. You know, it has been definitely from the traditional models of men in leadership and also basically on influence. Well, men have led in various things like politics. As a matter of fact, like in our country, basically, people said, and especially women, like there's a saying where women say that women, we are our worst enemies. When you hear a woman is running for leadership, you want to support a man, you don't want to support a woman. So basically, it has evolved from the tradition of politics and even religion and businesses. Those times were growing. You'd not hear a preacher who is a woman. You know, you'd only hear preachers to be men, and the men predominantly held those particular positions. But now it has got to a point whereby the man has evolved, the evolving man. He's gotten a soft spot. As a matter of fact, like I am, I do not remember her getting a hug from my dad. You know, and even now, we laugh, we talk, but I do not remember ever getting a hug from my dad. So the traditional man is still there. Okay, for me right now, I can be able to hug my sons and my daughters, and we can be able to laugh. You know, those strict men giving orders, and they expected them to be followed. And you know, even in leadership or rather in the office, they used to show, you know, in the army, they used to say you give orders and they have to be followed. But now the modern man has evolved, and now they're usually using different kind of principles to be able to show the human part. They are emotional. They can be able to rope in. As a matter of fact, they can lead from behind, whereby they ask people to give their contributions or rather do what you are. And then they do not believe, in most cases, and even in companies, they don't believe they're the smartest in the room. So some, and whereby you have that kind of leadership, those companies tend even to make more profit. The employees, they tend to have a good working environment. They thrive, they flourish. And as a matter of fact, the burden is lifted off the shoulders of the leader or the CEO or whoever it is. So it amounts, basically, we can agree that it has evolved. And anybody who is using the traditional kind of leadership, well, really is having a hard time because dictatorship doesn't work in our country. I mean, it's being probably introduced and it's being thrashed. People are talking about it or talking against it. You know, basically the leadership has really evolved as far as we're concerned these days.
I hear you. I hear you. Julius Odhiambo is saying,
Yeah.
any day for men is always replaced with something. Today, for instance, it was replaced with Princess Day. Today is not International Men's Day. It's tomorrow, please. It's just that today is our webinar day, so we are just gonna have this today. And then they say that the boyfriend's day is always replaced with toilet day. It's sad. It's tomorrow, International Men's Day, just for clarity, so that you stop playing victim. Anyway, back to back to the conversation. I'm just wondering, when it is said that men go through a lot, and a lot is expected. But maybe you can tell us what pressures do men face in leadership that often go unspoken, and how do this behavior or rather pressure shape their behavior at work and at home? Any of you can go. They're in leadership. What are the unspoken challenges? Do they go through, or the pressure they face, which is often unspoken, and how does it shape their behavior at work and at home?
I think I can go first. I think for me, the unspoken pressures is, I think from my perspective, one is as men, we do not have a very good social network in terms of people we can truly talk to. You'll find guys hanging out, drinking, eating meat. But if you ask this gentleman to tell you what's going on in each person's life, I can bet you very few people will be able to say Mukunya is having issues at home, Murray is having issues with the bank, etc. They will laugh it out and they will talk. So in terms of pressures, one, from my perspective, is men do not have, once you get to a certain echelon of in terms of society, in terms of life, you have very few people you can confide in. It gets lonely at the top. You have very few people who can tell you the reality of whatever it is that you're going through, and then you have very few people who you can confide in and tell them, I am struggling with 1, 2, 3. So for me, the hidden challenges is a lot of people are struggling with mental issues, leadership issues, the pressures of being a father, a husband, a leader at work. And a lot of people, some men, not, let me just correct that, some men are cracking. That's why also last week there was a conversation of where are all the men in the celebrations, in the parties, where are they? And the conversation took different turns for various reasons. But for me, I think that's where some men are struggling. And I think one of the things is, how do we have that social fabric around us in terms of mentors who hold our hands, mentors or people who guide us, coaches who talk to us and help us navigate certain aspects of life and the different phases of manhood and also leadership. And I think the other thing is also, depending on how old you are and generations, you're either perceived as being too tough and being stone cold. Why? Because of the role models you grew up with who were tough, militant. It was like Moridi said, I say hi, I say jump, your question is how high? It's not a conversation. To now whereby you're having a conversation and talking to somebody and saying, I need you to do this. And they're like, what? Yeah, why? And you have to go through the process of explaining the why. And then over and above that, go and justify why it needs to be done. So for me, I see those two blends. And I also feel there's a bit of a clash between how do you balance the jump and explaining why you need to do something and hand holding the person or the people you're leading to go through that whole process and journey. Thanks.
I hear you, and I think one of my takeaways from that is we need to create safe spaces and also just have mentors who can walk the journey and support, and also the unlearning of how you grew up with the way you are parenting now, because we have to unlearn and then relearn how we are parenting. Your comments on that, the same, Mr. Moridi?
Okay, this is very nice conversation, and I just like I was born a man, and I'm still a man, and I'll still remain to be a man. But and I've mastered. To some degree, I have mastered being a man. And one thing is because, as I said, I'm a minister, and we as human beings, there's one thing that we throw away. We throw away the part of God in our lives. Because if I may just mention a little bit, is that the Bible says that it is with the mind that we serve the law of God. And I bet we all Christians here, so if I quote the Bible, someone will be familiar with it. There is this verse that says, Philippians 2:13, it says that God is at work in us, both to will and to do of his own good pleasure. So he works in us, and he's the one he works in our good pleasure. While Sid has mastered to some degree I've mastered this thing of being a man is because it has helped me, or the Bible or God himself has helped me be able to master life to some degree as far as relationship is concerned. Just like Mukunya said, that men are lacking people who can be authentic. And as a man, if you have not even five, if you have 3 genuine friends, count yourself very, very blessed. I may not say lucky, but you are really, really blessed. But there's one thing, as far as a man is concerned, we are breadwinners. We are providers in the house, and we are meant to give security, we're meant to give protection and everything. So that whole burden lies on us. But one thing that I've come to discover of men, we size and measure ourselves based on what we are, what we have, the car we drive, the place we live in, the schools our children go to, all those things. So you feel a man enough when you can be able to show, not practical, but material things that you have. So you don't have time to evaluate yourself, think about yourself, think about your soul, think about your mind, what you need to do better, how you need to relate better. Because one thing that has really helped me, as far as I'm concerned, is that I value human beings, because human beings, there's a proverb in my mother tongue that says that people are things. Ama watu ndio vitu. Because the more you relate with people, the help you get and the better you become as you relate with many different kinds of people. So as far as men we are concerned, is because we do not have time for ourselves. We need to have time for ourselves. And you come first as a man, because you cannot be able to give what you do not have. So, okay, I'm a golfer. And as people to say that when you're in a golfing course and you're playing with men, it's a place of networking. Let me just be honest, and if there's a golfer here listening to me, you hear. I never have conversations in the course when I'm playing golf with people about what do you do, what's your next project, what are you up to. No, that's my time to connect with a human being as a man as I am. And basically most of the people, men have more, golf has more members, more men, men are more golfers than ladies. In golf, we have more men than ladies. So most of the time when I'm playing with men, I want to know, who are you, Mukunya? What are you going through? What do you think about this? But definitely don't ask directly. As you keep playing and you keep knowing each other, you get to know someone and they get to know you, and they get to know if they can confide with you. Like for me, I've been so smart. If they're people, or the people that I've connected with in the golf course, the soul and the mind, and I'm able to talk with them. We're able to be friends. We can call each other. We can laugh. We can go out. We can have fun. They can invite me into their house and feel, and there are people they've played with golf for a long time, and then me, I'm just came recently, and they find me in the house and they wonder, how did this guy show up here? How did he get here? So men, we need to have time for ourselves and forget about the money, forget about children. They're going to school, school fees. If you have work, success, the dictionary is the only place success comes before work. So I am a firm believer in work. You work hard, but let not your mind be carried away by what you have in your pocket, the bank balance you have, the car you drive. Think about yourself. Have time for yourself. Love yourself. And the only person that can understand a man well is a man like he is. And men are very, very good friends. Men can keep friendship for a very long time. Kwa sababu sisi hatukosanagi na vitu. Ukiona wanaume wanakosana, I don't know. It's difficult for men to fall apart. Men are very, very good people. Very good people. When you connect with a man, when you call out a man with love, definitely, because I know how I can bruise the ego of a man. I can understand. And so I know these are no-go zone. But even if he has a problem of a certain type, I will look for wisdom, because I love this guy, and I will look for a way to be able to address it. And there's this saying that we unaniuma tu kama panya ukinipuliza. Unauma ukinipuliza. So for a man, when you realize there's something and it is absolutely has a problem, and you realize this person, you can be able to penetrate through his heart, unauma ukipuliza, unauma ukipuliza. At last unaona haya, kwani huyu jamaa amenisaidia, he's really helped me. So men, what we need to do is, let's forget about what we have. Let's keep ourselves first, who we are. And definitely you cannot open out to every man. You got to know them and be able to trust them slowly by slowly. But you know what? Go out there and be a friend rather than sitting back and waiting for people to approach you to be their friend. Go out there and be a friend to another man. And when you're a friend to another man, then that man will be able to, oh, what kind of person is this? I've never met this kind of person, you know? And slowly by slowly, men will stop going into depression. They'll stop being stressed. They will just know it's just another day of work. Let me go out and be with my friends. Let me go play, you know, whatever. At least for me, when I'm my idle time, I just go to the golf course. Look for something you can do.
Have we lost him or is it me?
I
With
think
other
we
men,
seem to
you
have
know,
lost him.
something that will be
Okay.
able to help you be able to grow. And oh, okay, did you get me? Oh, okay. If I probably go back and say, we need to, I don't know if you got this, that we need to forget what we are and desire to think about who we are. Who are you as a man? If I would ask you, who are you? You'll not tell me I live in Runda or I live in Langata, I drive this kind of car. Tell me, what do you hate? Where do you like? Who are your friends? Or what do you hate someone doing to you? Or what would you want to do? Or where would you want to get as a person? That when everything is taken away and everything outside is shaking, you are not shaking. But the problem with us men, we've attached ourselves so much with material things that we have and what we want to do or what we want to achieve, not really achieve mentally, but achieve materially, or achieve materially, and all that. After you've gained all that, and then you've left and lost yourself and you're depressed and stressed, what profit is it all about? So men, let's love ourselves.
Interesting. I like let's forget what we are and switch once in a while to who we are. And yes, we have non-Kenyans in the room, so I like that you're also translating. My friend Lady Gold here might just have my neck. And then we also have non-Christians, but I think the Quran is also and covers the same some of the things that you're talking about. And I also like that you're saying that we need to have time for ourselves and just love on ourselves and just take care. Oh, sorry, men themselves. I already put myself there because I think self-care cuts across. But I hear you because sometimes you can work and never really have time for play. And yes, Lady Gold, the ambassador from Uganda, says, "I thanks dear Grace. I like the conversations and appreciate the gentleman for clearly articulating men in leadership, its evolving roles and dynamics of life pressures." Thank you. And we just want to know on the call, how many of the men actually have a mentor or a coach? You can just type, if you have a mentor and a coach, you can type MC. If just mentor, you can type M. If coach, you can type C. And if none of the above, you can type N. So do you have a mentor or a coach who is walking this journey with you? Yeah, and Joseph Ndongo is saying, can he expound on those friends whom after opening up, they distance themselves from you? Yes. Did you get that, Moredi?
Yeah, I got it. That when you open up to somebody and they distance themselves from you.
Yes.
Now, that's why in the first place you need wisdom on who you need to open up with, because those kind of people that you open up to and they distance themselves are judgmental people. They judged you, all right, and so they found you not worth, or they felt they're better than you are. And so in that case, you feel like you wasted yourself, you doubt yourself. But you know what? If you opened up to someone and that person gave up on you, please don't blame yourself. You're just being honest. You're just being good. And the funny thing is that, let me tell you, say something. You being strong in one point and the other person being weak doesn't mean that you also not weak in one area he is strong about. So if anybody is listening to me and is that kind of a person who is able to judge other people based on their strength and the other people are weak, just know one thing, even you one time, you will be weak in one area and someone else is going to be stronger in that area you're weak. So what are you going to do about it? So the only thing you got to do is you'd rather even don't keep, or if someone opens up to you, don't walk away from them. If you feel it's too much for you, just pretend you didn't hear anything. Just pretend you didn't know him, or just let it pass. As a matter of fact, when he opened up to you, unless he opened up something that he did wrong to you, maybe you lost something and he's the one who stole, and then he came back and told you, I'm the one who stole. Now that can be a little problem, because I trusted you, but you betrayed me, But if it is nothing to do with you, that person did something elsewhere or something happened to them elsewhere, and then he came and confided it with you, and then it has nothing to do with you. Embrace that particular person. So the thing is, let's learn to love each other and understand one another. Or if you do not have the strength to walk with that particular person, what you've got to do is seek strength elsewhere or seek knowledge elsewhere. For example, if you give me something that I need to address right now and I have no knowledge or clue about, I'll tell you, give me 2-3 days. I need to research about it, and then I'll come back to you. So as men, when someone confides to you and you're not able to handle, use grace and use wisdom to be able to handle this person who is, and probably when one thing, you should feel very, very honored to be confided to by someone. As a matter of fact, it's someone, in many cases, people have come to me, they're friends of mine. We've met 1, 2, 3 times. Then he confides to me something. Then he asks me, how am I telling you these things? Why did I tell you these things? I tell you, don't worry. It's good and it's safe. Whatever you're saying, it's safe with me. I'm not going to, and I feel so much honored. It's an honor, as a matter of fact, when a man, and especially a he-man, confides things to another man. If you cannot be able to handle that person, first and foremost, count it as honor and respect this guy, that he can be able to dress down in your presence, because there are many people he looked out to, and he saw you are the only person that he is able to confide to. I had a friend one day. He told me we need to meet. He's probably watching. He told me we need to meet. We met somewhere in a golf club. If I would meet him on the corridors of the golf club, I would not tell who he is. We went for a round of golf for about 4 hours. By the time we were done, we spoke so many things and he told me so many things. And I took it as honor that this guy does not know me, but he can trust me with confidential information. And from that time, we have been very, very, very good friends. So men, when someone confides with you something, take it as an honor and do what you have to do, even if you have to refer him. You can tell me something that I'm not able to handle. And then I know someone who I trust that can be able to handle what you're going through. So it's up to me to take you to this other friend of mine to be able to introduce this. So-and-so is my good friend and everything. And we confided something and you can trust him. And I know you can help him. So you refer this friend of yours to this other person so that they can be able to move on with this journey for this person to be able to get the help that he needs.
I certainly. And I think at this point, I want to ask a question about influence. And most of the time you find influence is often mistaken for authority. What does positive influence look like for men in leadership today, Mr. Mokunya?
That's a very good question. Positive influence. I think for me, it's one, understanding the context of where you are and their changing life. There's something Moriti talked about, which I just want to touch on before I come back to that. The traditional role of a man being the breadwinner, is changing. A lot of women and spouses are earning even a lot more than their husbands. So it's also how do you lean into that and accept that your missus is earning even twice as much as you, and are you comfortable in that, and that doesn't bring in conflict. I think for me it's also the piece of positive influence is being honest in terms of your leadership style, in terms of helping pull other people up into leadership spaces, uh, being a role model in terms of how you lead, how you deal with stresses. For those of us who are in corporate, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in corporate. Some of it, some good, some bad. But how do you manage that pressure for your team and don't become a pipe where you're just passing the pressure through to your team? How do you sieve and help them get to understand what's going on without the nasty politics, without the nasty backstabbing? And then how do you create spaces for your team members to shine? And then you taking responsibilities for where there are gaps, but then also having the tete-a-tete with the person responsible in the background so that they can improve and become a better version of themselves and achieve their full potential. So for me, that's how I'd see positive influence as. When the team shines, you shine. When there's correction, correct in private, and let the person give the individual an opportunity to improve and work on their area of improvement. Where things are not working, being very blunt and saying this is not working and this has to change. So I think that's also something we need to do.
Excellent, excellent. Richard, you know you are a man. Hey.
Exactly.
Let me not take over the conversation. So please go ahead.
The discussants are bringing out very good things. And one thing that is very close to my heart is men wellness. When you say, we could start from Kunya, when we say men should love themselves, what exactly does it mean? Two, men wellness, what does it include? Not all of us will find ourselves at the current golf club. What does it constitute?
Is it directed to me?
You need to assign the question to someone, and yes, you can take it. Yes.
Okay. Men, we are all different. And when you talk of, everybody has their likes. Like, for example, there are people who play rugby and they love it to the core. But I asked a human being, how many bones have you broken? He said, I've broken many. Then I asked myself, or in boxing, how on earth can I just exploit my body or expose my body to be punctured or punched by another human being and feel the pain, all for what? So the thing is, we need to understand ourselves, know what you like and what you don't like. And what you like, the men who are just happy sitting down and just reading and studying and just equipping themselves. Now, let me talk about the soul of a man or a human being. The soul is divided in three. There's a mind, the will, and the emotion. The mind is the mind that we have, whereby you take in information. And then the will, result of the information that you get inside of you or get into your mind, it influences how you feel. And then how you feel dictates how you. And so with whatever you have to do, you have to keep growing. The problem with men are good, but men can be difficult people, just like I said, of material things. Men are the most difficult people to change. A man can only be changed. And in most cases in the world that we live in, men can change when, and if I'm wrong, you tell me. Not all, most men, let me say 95% of all men, will only change if there are economic benefits for them to do. Then, first and foremost, are there economic benefits? No economic benefits. Okay, let's talk about that later. And like women, you can influence a woman with words sweet nothings, like they say. Please, you better lie to me, but tell me something. Tell them they want to hear a lot of sweet nothings, and you make them promises, take them to the moon and back, but you're not going to do that to a man. So you need to recognize as a man, what do you want? And men, we want authentic stuff. We want something tangible, basically. You want to see results because we are competitive in nature. You want to see what is in it for me. And so the only person that can understand a man is another man. And that's why, even in a family setting where boys are, and I usually tell many mothers, if the father is not there, get your son a father figure or a mentor, because we are able to understand each other's language. And a boy, as he keeps growing, he will digress, or rather he will be attracted to men. And so with that, you are able to grow to be you're able to grow healthily as a man, and you're able to identify with other men. So just know what you like, go for it, because you cannot just say there's nothing I like doing. It may not be a sport. You may be attracted to something, like, for example, you go to a club, there are various, a myriad of sports. There's one you may like, some will just sit down and just discuss issues and talk about issues of their lives. Some will go play, some will just hang out, all this. Recognize what you like and do something about it. But all you have to do in everything that you do, ensure that you're growing. Now, the other thing that Mukunya has mentioned is about ladies or wives have become even breadwinners at home. But some men, well, okay, let me not say some men. One thing about men, I would love to tell you, is that even if your wife is earning more than you do, you need to be secure by yourself. And for you to be secure yourself is to know who you are, your responsibilities as a man, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Because men, we are naturally, the hierarchy of God is that men are leaders and we're meant to lead. So that's why I say, to understand yourself better, is that because you thought you're a man because you have more money than your wife. Now here comes your wife has more money. Then, and even your wife can tell you, okay, fine, I don't want your money, I want nothing to, and she has nothing wrong with you. I mean, she can buy her own car, she can pay for the house rent, she can do everything. What is it that you're bringing on the table as a man in that house? Women love to be led. And that's why I said the soul of a man is a mind. What do? Equip yourself in your mind with wisdom, with knowledge, and get what you have to do. That when money is not the problem, or money is not on the table, as a man, you need to offer something, and that chases away. A man is confident by himself with what he has between his two ears. It is not what you have in your pocket. I usually hear men saying that a man without money is useless. I tend to disagree completely, because when that money you're bragging about you have, when it's pushed away, it's gone away, maybe something, God forbid, you're in a debt and the bank has auctioned you or the auctioneer has come, what are you left with? But if you have something in your soul, even if money goes away and things are falling apart, you still can be able to stand with that wife or the children that you have. And because they need that human being, they don't need money. They need a human being. They need a man to stand. They need to hear the voice of a man. And when you hear the voice of a man, everything is falling apart. But do we fall apart? When you're depressed and lying in your bed and sleeping in your house and you don't want to hear noise, you don't want to hear children make noise, and you're just hostile in the house just because everything is falling apart? No. It shouldn't be like that. Men desire to grow. And when you grow up in your mind and in your heart, you're able to think clearly, even working and being innovative and being wise and being a counselor and being a leader and having ideas on what to do as far as the home is concerned, even handling your wife. And if she's richer or she has more money than you, she will listen to you when you have the skills, just like you tuned her when you were young or you want to get married. There are words. You didn't, as a matter of fact, I see Mukunya is kind of, we are old school basically. And those days, we didn't have money to bring to the table. We had wisdom and words of words of wisdom, and we had the vibe, we had the words, we had the, what do you call it, the poems, we had songs, music would sing, and you bring her on board and you sweep off your feet. It's not money that you flashed on you, neither did she have money. So men need to go back to those old days that you did not define yourself with what you have, but with who you are. It didn't matter what kind of dress or trouser you're wearing or the shirt. I'm by myself. I've no money to take you to a hotel, but you know what? You have me right here. So, man, let's not run away from who we are and try to think that we can define ourselves by what we are.
Fantastic.
I'm thinking, it would actually work, Sometimes it would actually work. And just before I come back to you, Richard, Edward Wangeshi is saying men sadly are deeply and seriously somehow are indirectly influenced by our women in one way or the other. With current and critically changed world, where ladies gauge men, including the ones they already live with, mirroring on other men around and beyond, then men are likely to be depressed. And I think that happens to not men only, even women. We are also told, why can't you be like so and so's wife? I think that is an insecurity that reflects. And then he says, women want money, 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 money because the world is setting the pace. And Lady Goldie says, yes, mental health is really and needs men to take charge of their well-being at work, family, etc. And we have Benson from Kigali, Rwanda. Wonderful conversation. And Edward says, see online, majority of women, money, money, money. And Kinoti is saying, I also come from a different school of thought. It's called personal initiative. Gentlemen, can you hear me? Now, no one will come to help you if you don't take the initiative to become better, to become noble. The authentic space must be created mentally. Jitume. That is the comment from Ken. And where is this? Rose says, please tell the speakers to talk about co-parenting, how to navigate it, especially in scenario where as a man, you become a bank and even being denied access to your children, but your money is needed. Asking for a friend. And Rebecca says, amazing session. Women love to be led. Men ought to equip themselves with knowledge and wisdom. Edward says, men, not easy. And the truth is, modern world, the dynamics are totally different. Yes, you can let us know about co-parenting, where the man has become a bank, but they are also denied access to the children. You can give your comments on that, and then Richard, you can ask your other question.
That's a very good question. Asking for friend Rose. I think for me, it's something that Muridi talked about, knowing yourself. The minute you know yourself, it's very important. But before you get to know yourself, I think one of the things that has anchored me, and I am grateful and blessed, is having a personal relationship with Jesus and God. Taking some time to connect with your spiritual part that anchors you, that gives you a better understanding of who you are. One of the things I do nowadays, I just introduce myself without any title, without any superfluous trappings of society. In terms of co-parenting, that is one area where the person is being used as a bank. But in this day and age, if the person was serious about being active in the life of their children, there's an option of going to children's court. There's an option of talking to a lawyer, having an agreement, finding out when are the kids having any activities in schools, being active. The children will not be forgiving that all I did was pay school fees and I didn't show up. So it's for them to step up and be a father. Anyone can be a dad. Yes, anyone can be a father, but it takes effort, it takes work for you to be a dad. So I challenge your friend Rose, let him take the steps, talk to a lawyer, get into a parental co-parenting agreement. If that doesn't succeed, there's the option of the children's court. There are many options for them to be active in those children's lives. And it's a very, very short window.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if
Yes,
I
you
may
can go
jump
ahead and
in.
comment.
Yeah, let me comment on the issue of parenting because I am also a victim. And when it comes to the issue of you're a bank as a man, Mukunya said the first and foremost thing is go to court, go to the children's court. And once you go to the children's court, there are orders that are given. And everybody is given their responsibilities. Now, for this person that is asking, I understand that he loves his children. And honestly, they're parents who can be hostile. They're ladies who can be hostile towards their exes or the father of their children. And one thing they forget is that you and your father and the father and the children are two different entities. You should not deny children access to their father. Now, when you are the bank as a man, because I was also a victim and I was going through that at some point, I'm going to tell you what I did. So I sought advice from a man. And then, however much I felt, and I felt a lot of pain because I could not see my child, I was told the child was young. He was about maybe 4 or 5 years old or 6. And then he told me, stay away. Don't give nothing. Don't pay a dime. Do nothing about it. Bite the bullet, chew the pain, feel it. They will come along. That's what I did. And for sure, they came along. So go to the children's court. The orders will be given. Definitely, if that person does not obey the court orders, a warrant of arrest can be given, or you can even claim to have the custody of the children. There's a way you go on case, and you can go on fight, stay away. They will come along in one way or the other. They will. Because what some people love is they love fights. People just love fighting. Fight, they enjoy it. That's what they feed off. They probably even don't need your money, but they want to feel you to feel pain that you're parting with your money yet and don't see. I will not give any more money. I will not ask for the children. Stay with the children. I know I will see them some other time. They'll grow. And when they grow, they'll come my way and fine. And I'll be able to explain why they're not allowed. I'll explain it to them. That's simple as that.
Interesting. I like that the authenticity. Richard, you had another question.
Yes, I had another question, Grace. And the question, I think we have seen this.
I can't hear you.
Hello. What about now?
No, you're back. Yes, you were buffering before.
The question I want to ask, I've seen some information passing around WhatsApp groups that the chief office of Nairobi County counts like 30 people who commit suicide. And I suspect that most of them are men. Why do you think the statistics on committing suicide are higher with men? And how should we go about solving this problem? We can go with Mkunya first, then Muredi will chip in.
The statistics are even more shocking. So there's a forum I was in, and it's about 70% of all the suicides in Kenya are men. So it's even more scary than that. From my perspective, is we do not have a very strong social fabric in terms of people we can talk to, people we can share our problems. Right now, I can guarantee you, any lady on this call, if they have any financial issue, they have 1 or 2 chamas they can reach out to and say, instead of my turn coming in 4 or 5 months from today, can I have mine today because I have a certain pressing need? I need money today, or I need this challenge or issues. Or me and hubby had a fight. This was the fight. Talk to her, they'd console her, they'd tell her how bad he is, etc., and make her feel better. For men, I can count on I'd be even happy to see if any man here has a chama where they can borrow money to bridge a financial need immediately. I'd be happy to see even one hand raised. Number one. Number two, how many men on this call have a person that can, 2 or 3, like Maridi said, 2 or 3 people you can authentically talk to and say, I'm having these kind of issues. Me and the missus had a fight. I'm having struggles in the office. I'm having struggles with 1, 2, 3. The bank is after me. I have these issues, and you have somebody who will honestly listen, someone who will give you that shoulder to lean on, and just someone who will sort of pat you back and tell you it'll be okay. Some men struggle with these things internally. They do not talk, and unfortunately, majority of the men who commit suicide are the people who you see laughing the loudest in the clubs with their friends, and they're the people who are hurting the most, but very few people can see the pain behind their smiles. My challenge to all the men on this call is those 2 or 3 people you call your boys. Can you please have an honest conversation and talk to them and find out how each one of them, and the one question I want you to ask is, how are you doing? What's going on in your life that I need to know that I don't know? Thanks.
Okay, if I may pick up from there where Mukunya has started. It's small things. There's a saying that goes, a little courtesy goes a long way. Men, I will speak because I'm a man. There are values as men that we do not have, that we need to cultivate. And that's why most men are not acceptable in many circles. And the simplest I can only talk about is honesty. Can you be, you as a man, can you be counted as a person who is honest and someone who keeps their word? A good example, I call Mukunya and I tell him, Mukunya, I need 10,000 shillings and I will refund in 2 weeks' time. Mukunya asks me, are you sure you refund? He tells me, yes, I'll refund. 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, a month goes by. Mukunya reminds me. I say, oh, things got worse. My question is, why did I borrow money in the first place and I did not know how to refund? All right? Now, I've fallen out with Mukunya. Mukunya, even when I'm in trouble, he will not bail me out. He will not bail me out. So there are characters or there are some dogmas that we should have as men, that first and foremost, I can be trusted financially. I can be trusted with my words. I can be trusted with what I do. You can count me as man on my word, and I tell you I'll do it, I'll do it. I'll push myself to every corner and do what I told you. And if I will not, do it, I will not bluff. I will not take it easily. I will come back to you and tell you, Mukunya, what we agreed, I may not be able to. We had agreed I'll do it maybe 5 days to come. But I come to you 2 days before and I tell you, it's lacking. Things cannot work. So integrity is what's lacking and is what making many men fall into depression. And I'm going to say this. Depression in the first place is luxury. The people say it's a disease. I say it's a luxury because it's something you do not need, right? And how a mind of a human being works is that a good explanation, a good analogy I can give. You're probably in somewhere in a roundabout, say Nyayo Stadium. There's a road that comes from Langata, Uhuru Highway, and the one that goes to, I can't remember the name, Lusaka Road or something that goes to DT Dobi. Now, when that road is gridlocked and no vehicle can go anywhere, first and foremost, your car, it doesn't have an AC, it will get hot. Secondly, the engine overheats. Thirdly, it's uncomfortable because someone can mug you there. And fourthly, you're not going to your destination because you are gridlocked and can't go anywhere. That's how a mind of a human being works when you're depressed. And so what do you do to a roundabout for it to open up? It's cars to start flowing. Go to your direction. Go to Langata Road, go to Uhuru Highway. Go to Kenyatta Avenue, go to the other. And when the roundabout is moving, the drivers will enjoy driving and will move on. So what do? When you have something disturbing your mind, let it go. Drop it. Don't think about it. Children have no school fees. What are you going to do about it? You have done all you can. You're working. Maybe you're in debt or something is wrong. Drop it. Don't carry it to your mind, because the more you're depressed or the more you're stressed, it doesn't mean that your problems will be solved. So people don't really know that. And you need to know that. Free yourself from things that you cannot be able to hold. A burden, as a matter of fact, if I give you a 90-kilogram bag of maize for you to carry, if you can't carry it, what do? You drop it. So men need to know how to drop stuff. Let them go. If you can't handle it, look at it, face it, move on to the next thing. But let's create some good character. When you have good character, you're able to relate with people well. When you're an honest person, you're able to relate people well. When you're a friendly person, you're able to be loved by people. When you have wisdom in your mind, everybody want to hear your opinion. What am I saying? What do I have to say about this? What do you have to say about that? And so that's what you say, character, develop yourself as a man. All right. If you don't have those things that you desire to acquire them, if you're used to lying, stop lying. If you're used to taking people for granted, stop it. If you're used to using people, stop it. Because the people who use, someone will talk to you 2 years from now, and the next call, someone will talk to you now wanting help from you. The next time they call you, you see their phone call, they know this guy just wants money from me. There's nothing else he wants. And when I sort him out, he's gone. Let's stop this kind of relationship. Call someone, just, how you doing? How you finding? Come, let me buy a drink. Let's go out. Let's go for a drive. Let's go for a what? You create relationship. And it's some of these things don't just happen. You say women are able to relate well with themselves. It's true, because when they sit down, they will talk everything and anything you think about. And in the course of talking, they gel. They identify with one another. They're able to form bonds and relationships amongst themselves. And so when you have a bond with someone, because you form a bond with someone because of how your souls are connected. And once they're connected the way they're connected, then you have no problem moving on. But men, we keep off. And then you need to have wisdom on how to choose your friends. You don't need many friends. As a matter of fact, if you have 5 friends in this whole wide world of 7 billion people, five people, you are sorted for life. You don't need many people. You can have a lot of acquaintances, but if you have 5 confidence, of which is very, very difficult to have, 5 confidence, even the powerful and the influential don't have 5 confidence. They have many, many friends, and they have his friends because of what they can get from him. Maybe you're a minister, maybe you're a president, maybe you're a governor somewhere. You're many friends with people because of what they can get from you, not because they genuinely love you or they genuinely want you. Once it's done, they're gone. You'll never see them again. So the best thing is that let's interrogate our hearts. Let us interrogate our soul and realize, what am I lacking? And you know what to do. As a matter of fact, the script is, we're in an African society. We all know what to do because we are brought up by good African mothers and fathers. They taught us the right thing to do. But when we grew up, we thought that we can be big heads and think that now we've had money, now we can do anything that we want. But if we go back to the roots and remember the honesty, the transparency that our parents taught us, that when you tell someone something, mean it, you don't lie, you speak the truth. If you can't say you cannot. All those small things, they will add up to the person that one ought to be. And you know what? You're not going to get depressed. You're not going to commit suicide. Why? Because you'll always have a shoulder to lean on and a lap to cry on. But men, let's work on ourselves first. Small things, just like I've said.
Thank you. Yeah, I see we are running short of time. I see Max Moteti saying, Chamas, you have far-fetched. Don't we have family? Anyone who goes beyond family for me is a red flag, wanting attention and not real help. Well, not all people are lucky to have as good families as yours. So different scenarios play out. Mokunya says, your word is your bond. And Madangani left us with dynamics have really changed. As a man, it's good to know which women you hang out with, their values, understand if they are after what you can provide, partying and lifestyle expenses, because there is another generation that's focused on that. So every man needs to create values and direct relationship making with with wisdom, not hedonistic pleasure. That is the feedback from Madangani. I don't think we have any other question. And in the interest of time, allow me to ask for your parting shot. Your one-liner, please, no stories, one-liners at this point in time. We can start with Mureithi so that he makes sure it's a one-liner. Mureithi talks for a living. He's a preacher, so and I'm a child of a preacher, so I understand you, Mureithi.
Always say.
Oh, then he freezes.
So, just like you said, as men, we need to build each other. And before you think of being built as a man, think of how you can build somebody else. Because as a result of building somebody else, you'll get somebody else to build you up. So let's not be selfish. Let's not only think about ourselves. Let's not think about, let's not everything revolve around me and that I'm not able to even be a blessing to somebody else, or I'm able to be of help to somebody else. I cannot even think of being of help to somebody else. So, and with that, we'll be able to grow, we'll be able to nurture one another, we'll be able to suppress anything that trends to oppress us, and definitely we'll be able to grow together. So, men, work on yourselves as an individual, desire to be a better person, and most of all, ask God to help you. The greatest prayer or the greatest word you can use and tell God is, help me. Help me. He'll help you stop things that you're doing, or he'll help you be able to be a better person. He'll help you in anything that you ever need. As a matter of fact, the Bible says he's a present help in time of need. Grace, you're lying.
Your passion is evident. We are going to have you again. We need to have this duo again. Yes, Mr. Mukunya.
Just on a quick note, Mureithi also means shepherd, so he's also acting out his name. I think for me, it's just what Mureithi is touched on. Have a relationship with your creator, whoever you believe in, God, Allah, whatever is that. That for me is the most important thing. That relationship will anchor you. That relationship will give you wisdom, understanding, discernment, especially on what you need to do. The other thing I'd say that's very important is also know yourself. Understand who you are. What are your likes? What are the boundaries that you cannot cross? What are the boundaries that you do not want other people to cross? And what are the standards? What are the values that you value? So is it integrity? Is it honesty? Is it your word is your bond? So it's those little things that define you, who you are as a person, and they're the things that will help you become a better person. And once you are a better person, then you can lead other people. There's a famous saying that hurt people hurt other people. So if you're broken, you will also break other people. So you need to first fix yourself before you can start building and creating the new next generation of leaders. And my parting shot is, one, who are the 2 or 3 friends that you can talk to and have an honest conversation. How are you doing? What's going on in your life? Make sure you do that. And then the other thing is in terms of there's an honest conversation, and also whose hand are you holding in terms of helping him become a better man, a better boy, a better man.
Excellent, excellent. I have totally enjoyed myself. I don't know whether you have a comment, Richard.
You rightly said, Grace, we need these 2 gentlemen on a wide engagement so that we can see that enthusiasm and great arguments. Yes, promise us that you will keep that promise, that you will bring them again for another discussion. Thank you so much. God bless. Cheers.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope that next time we call upon you, you will hear us and come and deliver something. So thank you so much. I hope that the audience have had an amazing time. And of course, from the comment I see, you have enjoyed yourself. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. The link has been shared. If you want to listen to the recording of this conversation, we'll have it uploaded there. thank you, Profiles International, for your partnership, Rose and Vicky and the entire Profiles International team. And of course, the team at Atarah Solutions, thank you very much for your support. We cannot do this without you. And please, if you want to know what's coming up on Atarah Solutions, join our WhatsApp group where we normally just post and share. You'll find quite a number of learning activities going on there and job adverts as well. Because our business is in the workplace. And of course, thank you so much for being here. Please follow us on Instagram, Atarah Solutions, like our Facebook page, Atarah Solutions, connect with us on LinkedIn, Atarah Solutions as well. Let's keep the conversation going. Please take care of tomorrow. Make sure you wish people a happy International Men's Day so that we can normalize celebrating men. Really, we need to normalize celebrating men. So remember to if I had t-shirts, I would have sent you guys on Happy International Men's Day. But at this point, yeah, here we are. So you guys enjoy the day and make sure that the workplaces you're having conversations around creating safe spaces for men and just having these conversations of growing men in leadership as well. So thank you so much and have yourselves a lovely, lovely night. See you next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we are discussing, is it high blood pressure, I think? Yes, your health. That's the conversation we're going to have next Tuesday. We have 2 Tuesdays to go for the year, unfortunately. Just 2 Tuesdays to go. And we are done until January 2026. Yani, how time has moved. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, and have yourselves a lovely, lovely night. And let's keep talking, let's keep connecting, and let's make the world a better place. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much.
Good. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.